Now, I'm sure I owed plenty of other people apologies for just the judgmental manner in which I, as a Jehovah's Witness, would witness to people when they didn't want me to witness to them, but I really thought I was doing the right thing. Today, I wanted to talk about the challenge that ex-Jehovah Witnesses face once they decided to leave the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses and trying to rebuild relationships with people that they actually cut off when they went into the organization. That's what happened to me. My mother and I became Jehovah's Witnesses, and everything that was socially acceptable changed. The organization really encourages you to have as little unnecessary contact with people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses, even if that's your family and your closest friends. So we weren't going to parties anymore. Of course, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays, and just a lot of things about the organization were very judgmental. So we would attend weddings, we would attend some baby showers. It was just very isolating. We chose to take all of the advice that was given to us from the organization, and we really isolated ourselves from other people. And I'm sure that brought them pain. People that had been in our lives, we suddenly were not available, because we would try to decline invitations as politely as we could, but it becomes rude and confusing for your loved ones when you're saying, no, I'm not going to celebrate your birthday, when that's like such a joyous occasion. So I've looked back on how, you know, for the past 20 years that I've not been in the organization, just some beginning steps that I took and just kind of continued with to help rebuild those relationships. So the first step was to not have any regrets. The 20 years that I was a part of Jehovah's Witness organization, that I chose to be in that organization, I couldn't get those years back. I couldn't rewind time, so I had to just, because I was very remorseful and very sad. Once my eyes were open, I was like, 20 years of my life, but I had to decide to have no regrets in order to start the healing process. I just had to take ownership of it, that I was in it. You know, when I got into it, I was 7, but then as I got older, I could have chosen not to be in it, but I stayed in it until I was 27. So I had to just say no regrets. I'm going to move forward. So the first step was no regret. The second step for me was not to delay in making friends outside of the organization. And the reason why I was initially delaying it was embarrassment. I'm going to be transparent with you. I was embarrassed that for 20 years I walked around, field service, missing out on things, had been misled and really thought that I was earnestly serving God. And now it was so clear to me that I was having being a fool, and that people probably were looking at me like, what in the world is going on with her and her mother? So I felt embarrassed. Don't let that embarrassment delay you reaching out to rebuild relationships with people, with your family and with friends. Then there was fear of, are they even going to want to now have me involved in their lives? People have had children, people have married, divorced, gone through good times, bad times, and I was not a part of it as much as they were inviting me to be a part of it, because I was busy feeling sorry for them. I remember feeling so sorry when I would think of my friends and my family and like, oh, they're going to church, or oh, they're going to this. And I would feel like, oh, I feel so sorry for them because they don't know the truth. And I'm sure that came across like so judgmental when I would have conversations with them and talk to them. So there was a delay because I felt fear of that they would not want to be my friends or interact with me anymore. They would not want to rebuild a relationship with me. But don't let fear or embarrassment let you delay your newfound freedom of making new friends. Do it right away. Number 3, some steps that I had to take. The third step was having honest communication with the people in my life. And sometimes that honest communication was, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking for 20 years. But now I know I don't want to be a part of that. Even more challenging step that I had to take as a part of my honest communication with people was apologizing. Yes, I owed a lot of people apologies. I apologized to family members, co-workers, friends, not all of them. Like, I didn't go around like, hey, I was wrong. No, but there were people that I wanted to build a relationship with and then rebuild with people where they had been in my life, for 5, 6 years, some of them my entire life, some family members. And I felt like the only way to truly have a clean slate was for me to humble myself and apologize for the things that I knew that I had done wrong. Now, I'm sure I owed plenty of other people apologies for just the judgmental manner in which I, as a Jehovah's Witness, would witness to people when they didn't want me to witness to them, but I really thought I was doing the right thing and was forcing my beliefs on them, or judging their lifestyle. So there were some apologies there. And I would encourage you to look and see where you can own your behavior, own what you did as a Jehovah's Witness. It might be difficult, but it is very freeing. It is freeing to reflect, own it, apologize for it, and then move on. Now it's up to the person. I even had a boss, one of my bosses, I apologized to her because I just kept with the Awake magazines, trying to encourage her. Her mother was dying of cancer. This was before my mother was sick, but I would try to encourage her about her mother being able to live again without pain on the paradise earth. This woman was a staunch Presbyterian Republican. But needless, I was earnest. I was really earnest and sincere in my trying to comfort her. So she was someone that I did apologize to, and gratefully many people did accept my apologies. That one boss accepted my apology, and I knew it wasn't just words, because after I was disfellowship, when my mother wound up dying with cancer, my boss came to my mother's funeral. That boss would call when she found out that my daughter was diagnosed with autism, would call to check on my daughter. I didn't even work at the job anymore. So as hard as it is, be honest, be humble, and the relationships that matter the most, it will be worth it for you to have those open lines of communication. And then the fourth step in starting that rebuilding process is one where you just have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to understand if your family that you're trying to become more reintegrated with, if they're kind of in shock, or if they're kind of like, we'll see what really happens if she really he or she wants to really be a part of our lives now. Like, are you truly going to be there? Because you kind of deserted them before. When you became a Jehovah's Witness, you deserted them. So they are going to have reservations. You have to be patient if people don't warm up to you right away. It's going to take time. But I will say, these 20 years that I have been out and that I have put the work in the self-healing, in building and rebuilding relationships with people, relationships that I damaged by remaining in the Jehovah's Witness organization, every bit of effort that I've put in has been worth it. It is worth it. So I will encourage you to have no regrets. It's a fresh start. Move on with that fresh start. Don't delay in reaching out to people. Be honest, you know, and know that everyone might not receive it, and that's okay. I have one friend to this day. We were childhood friends, and our relationship, it never went back to what it was and to what I know it could have been. And I can't regret that. I did apologize to her. I mean, this sweet friend even had studied with me, did a Bible study with me when I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was trying to get her to be in it, and it didn't do it. That Bible study, she had such a pure heart seeking God, and it just caused trouble in her family, you know. And I'm glad that she was able to see that it wasn't what was meant for her and her family. So she did not continue studying the Bible with me. But our friendship did not go back to what it could have been. But we do speak. I'm so happy to see her family thriving. I think she's very happy for me, but that damage was done. But at least we can still be happy for each other, love one another. So be patient though, because I'm still holding out hope. Those are the 4 steps that you can utilize to start rebuilding damaged relationships that you damaged while in the Jehovah's Witness organization. See you next time. Bye.